What's up, guys? I wanted to bring you guys this video today, this topic. So I am on the verge of being fired. They just put me on paid suspension. I'm expecting it's going to be for anywhere for 2 weeks to a month, which means, as you know, I'm still getting paid, but they just have me on suspension with the investigation. They're going to have the investigator speak to me about what happened. Basically, I was caught sleeping, but the good news about this company is that they have employee rights for the employees to be able to defend themselves when an investigation comes up like this. So my side of the story, what I have come up with that I'm going to say, which is actually true, is basically, and I'm going to start you guys from the beginning. When I first started this job, I asked them, the first question I asked was, do we get breaks? Like, all jobs give breaks. All jobs are supposed to give breaks, right? Well, I asked them this. That was one of my questions. I said, how are the rules in regards to the break? And this was their exact answer. And they keep not making no sense. That, like, they're not, it's like they're contradicting themselves and they want to switch up the narrative as it pertains to me. They said, no, you don't get any breaks. You're working a 10-hour shift and you don't get any breaks. And the reason you don't get any breaks in this nature of a job is because basically the whole day is the break. That's exactly what they told me. They said, we don't give out breaks in this kind of job because basically the whole day is a break. Okay, cool. I went with it. So now if I'm working a 10-hour shift and somewhere maybe, I don't know, 6 hours into the shift, you catch me sleeping, I could be able to argue that by law, and I have looked this up. You can look it up for yourself too. When you click off this video, look it up for yourself. By state law, and I think on some level by federal law, but I think it's mostly by state law, you are entitled to at least a half-hour break if you're working 8 hours or more or something like that. I got to research again the specifics, but that's what I researched. You're entitled to a half-hour to an hour-long break, especially if you're working more than 8 hours, in which in my case, I'm working 10 hours a day. So, okay, I'm going to take full accountability. When this investigator speaks to me, I'm going to take full accountability. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and be like, she didn't catch me sleeping. She very well caught me sleeping. But I'm going to read this law to you. And when I read this law to you, I don't want the narrative to be switched up only for me. And now all of a sudden you want to be like, oh, well, there's always something to do during the day. When I first started this job and I asked, do we get breaks? You said, no, the whole day is a break. But now, because you just want to get me for every little thing, you want to be like, oh, no, there's always something to do. What are you talking about? There's always something to do. Apparently not. If you told me on the first day that the whole day is a break, then you're going to have to be all the way. It can't be half. It can't be a quarter. It got to be all the way. If you're saying, like, I don't understand this. Well, that's what I'm going to come up with in this investigation. And it's like, it doesn't make no sense. You can't change the narrative for certain people. And I don't even have to get into, you know, other employees are favored. There's a lot of favoritism going on in the job. So-and-so hired their childhood best friend and everybody in there know each other already. Like, no, I need you to explain this. And I want a good answer. When I get in this investigation and I asked them this, I'm like, well, why are you basically doing something illegal to the employees? You're not giving them their designated breaks. So I should be able to have a half hour where I could do whatever I want. If I want to step outside, like, basically I'm allowed to do whatever I want, not related to the job on this half hour. Now, if you give me a funny answer, if they gave me a funny answer, kind of like, well, you know, then that means the staff to client ratio will be kind of off. Then I have to now say that that's a staffing issue. That's not a me problem. You talking about, oh, I caught you sleeping. Like, okay, that's cute. That's cute. You caught me sleeping. I know you're sitting here waiting for me. You're like, it's like you're plotting and you're waiting on me to like lie and be like, no, I wasn't sleeping. No, I was sleeping. But you're going to have to explain this and you're going to have to make it make sense. And I'm curious to hear their answer. Like, I want to update you guys on this, but it's not making no sense to me. Like, it's not making no sense to me. We get no breaks for the 10 hours. We get no breaks, and they want to talk about, oh, you shouldn't be sleeping. Like, how are we able to catch you sleeping? And there's always something to do. There's always something to do. But then when I ask you, are there breaks? Oh, well, basically the whole day is a break. I don't understand that. Maybe that job just isn't for me. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know. But I don't get no breaks. That's just what it is.